Guess who's back in the Apex community? And guess who just got banned in the Apex community? Some more news about the future of other game modes in Apex Legends, some conversations about buffs and nerfs, and also Respawn acknowledging some issues that are currently in the game. All of that and much more in today's video, so make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new as always. We did hit 1,111 likes on the last video, so I just contacted a good old special guest friend of mine that will be appearing in the show soon. Hope you're all doing well and having a great day. I just ate strawberry cheesecake stuffed pancakes from Cracker Barrel's absolutely phenomenal. So let's jump right into it. Guess who is back in the Apex Legends community? It is none other than the hacker himself who got called out for cheating, who left the community, who banned his own Twitter account, and then all of a sudden he comes back. His name is Facilitator. So this guy was accused right along with Invulnerable for strike packing. Some even accused him of hacking. This was coming from a video that Kazi did exposing these guys. And after they got exposed, after they got called out, Facilitator eventually disabled his own Twitter account and just kind of fell off the scene. And people just thought, okay, well, maybe he just gave up and maybe he just finally left. Well, out of nowhere last night, Light made this tweet saying Facilitator is back, and people were like, oh no, please not. And it actually is true. He was streaming on his Twitch page last night playing Apex. Now, hopefully this does not go under the radar, which is why I'm trying to make a video on it as well. I want to make sure if there's any possible way for these guys to get banned, and once again, for them to already know these guys have been banned in the past, hopefully they'll actually ban their accounts and not let them come back into the community. But the sad and crazy part about all of this is that it looks like Respawn's actually allowing this guy to come back in the scene. I'm not sure if he's lying about this, but on his Nightbot status that he had on his stream, he says that Hideouts personally told me that he's fine with me coming back and playing again. He said the only reason I was actually banned was because I was playing someone who was cheating. I don't know. Don't believe me. Ask him for yourself. So is it just a situation of like Respawn accidentally missed that this guy was cheating and he didn't actually ban him like they were supposed to? All of a sudden he snuck his way back in because of this technicality, or was he actually not cheating the entire time? Looks like the pro scene has already come to the conclusion that this guy is a cheater. This guy needs to remain out of here. But according to him, Hideouts is allowing him to come back. But speaking of people getting banned, guess what? You guys remember the big teabagging debacle where people were saying that you need to get banned in tournaments for teabagging because it was unsportsmanlike, and then some really weird people were actually saying that it was assault. If you guys remember, the tournament owner of Fate Legion, the guy who was running the event during this teabagging tobacco where all of this actually went down, and this guy actually disqualified one of the dudes for teabagging a body. And not only that, he thought it was an enemy body, but the guy was actually teabagging his own teammate's body, which still makes zero sense. He was still trying to say, no, you broke terms of service, you're going to get banned for that, you're disqualified. Well, Jake Lucky made this post last night and says, dang bro, and teabags quietly. Fate Legion actually got their account suspended over on Twitter, and Jake Lucky decided to tweet teabag this guy's dead Twitter account. It's really hard to believe that there was actually a crowd of people that agreed with this guy and thinks that it was a broken TOS. You know, I guess now he realizes what the real TOS is, and I guess that's why he kind of got suspended here. But anyways, in other news, Respawn made this tweet last night. I want to let you guys know that they are actually aware of an issue preventing some players from readying up in ranked matches for Apex and are actively investigating, and they said thank you for your patience while we look into this. So if you guys have been having some issues playing ranked, they tweeted about 2 hours after that saying it should be resolved now, so you can carry on. So if you guys have had some issues, maybe hopefully it should be fixed by now. And now I want to have a serious discussion about season 14. There's a lot in this, so sit down, buckle up, and let's go. So a little bit of a warning: if you get upset at the news you're about to hear, don't dislike the video and roast me in the comments as if I'm the one who's bringing the change. People for whatever reason do that. They're like, yo, I cannot believe this is stupid, this is bull crap and whatever, and they get mad at me like I'm the one who's actually making this stuff. I'm just informing you guys of what's going on, okay? So, you know, don't get your panties in a wad. I mean, the real outrage is that Thornton should have been charging his phone. 2% is the battery that he's got here. I mean, it's absolutely uncalled for. He says this on Twitter, though. It was a direct message leak from him and Oz, and he says, if you wanted more info on the flatline heat sink recolor, the other leaker who has info on it gave me the okay to share. It was coming from Oz, obviously, the same person who leaked all of the patch notes for season 14. That was early and seemed to be correct. But he talks more about than just the flatline. There's something else in here I want to discuss. And so the conversation goes like this. I was saying about what the flatline question mark, and he says a friend of a friend knows a playtester. It's kind of like a guy who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy's cousin. It basically says a playtester who mentioned the recolor being real. So apparently this heatsink recolor flatline skin is real, will be coming in the future. But he also says this playtester also said that this uplink game mode will most likely never happened. Thornton responded here saying, yeah, uplink was never confirmed with me, just Vantage, Catalyst, pause season, then Caliber. He says pause season could always be changed. He also said that Caliber apparently is like a lock for season 17 because of some lore reason. So the last couple of weeks we've been pretty excited and hoping for this season 14, all these new game modes, you know, all these data miners, all these leakers, you know, showing this stuff. Season 14 gun game mode, right? All these free deathmatch modes, right? We can't wait. Everybody's pumped up. Let's go. Multiplayer's coming to Apex Legends. Then a couple days ago, I said, any expectation that you have for Apex, just go ahead and cut it in half because it's most likely not going to happen. And someone made a great point. You know, half is actually giving them maybe a little bit too much credit. So according to this, the uplink game mode no longer looks like it's very likely. Also, from what we've seen so far, I mean, we're going to have to hold out till Monday to really know for sure, but it doesn't look like we're going to be getting these new permanent modes that everybody was talking about a couple months ago, saying this free deathmatch mode is going to have all the 6v6 stuff. It's also going to have this. It's going to have that, the gun game mode as well. The only thing that's pretty set in stone is the fact that Gaming Merchant said there's a new LTM mode coming in the middle of the season. That could be the gun game mode, considering all those leakers were saying there was actually code in the files for season 14 gun game mode, blah, blah, blah. So I'm about to say something that I know will most likely not sit well with a lot of you. And that is the fact, I think that a lot of this is actually to blame because of the leaks. I love leaks, don't get me wrong. I think they excite me. I think for the most of players, they actually get people excited. But not only do leaks get people excited, they also let a lot of people down, or at least lead to being let down. And the reason for that is because over the last couple of months, maybe even almost a year at this point, we've been talking about these newer game modes that have coming out. You know, I think Strugtall, even many other of the big data miners back in the day were saying, hey, there's all these other game modes. It's not just a control mode that's coming out soon. They're working on other stuff way down the road. Then more things began to get leaked. More things came out. The expectations got to be sooner and sooner. People are getting amped up. People are getting ready for new stuff. And then people start to make assumptions that this stuff is coming very, very soon. When in reality, maybe Respawn's plan of making this game a 10-year game like they said is just delaying all the features that we want over the span of many years so that it feels like a 10-year game. So maybe they're doing all the work that they would put into like a 3 or 4 year game and just spreading it out over 10 years. I doubt that's the truth of what's going on, but it's just what it feels like. Some things just feel like it's taking way too long. So although I like the leaks, I do think the leaks have set us up to have these assumptions that things are coming out sooner than what they really are. And so when things don't go our way, we call it a disappointment. We call it unfair. We call it a letdown. When in reality, you could argue the fact that it was our fault for making the assumption to begin with. I remember Thornton Smash making a video months ago talking about these new game modes that he had this inside source that was leaking to him, and then basically saying that there were some legends that were disabled in that game mode. And then he was making the argument, you know, if that's the case, why can't we have solos? Because their argument was always, well, everybody just use Pathfinder and Wraith, so that doesn't make any sense to have solos because, you know, it just excludes all these other legends. But yet they were practicing and warming up all these other modes where they were using that practice of disabling certain legends so that the meta made sense. So then in my mind, I'm like, heck yeah, well, when do we get these new game modes, right? And then your mind starts to trick you and say, oh, maybe next season, and then you don't get it. It's like, oh, well, maybe next season, then you don't get it. And then you're like, oh, well, maybe next season. When in reality, maybe it's us, the viewers, who are making the mistake by expecting it too soon. Besides cross progression, I mean, we got every right in the world to expect that should have been here already. So is the next gen update with 120 hertz should have already been here. We have every right in the world to be upset about that. And I told you guys months ago, I said, they're saying that it's coming in 2022, the cross progression, but I said, they're going to be the type of company that's not going to bring it until like September, October, November, December. I'm probably guessing it's going to be more in the November section. And then watch it when it comes out, it doesn't even work the way we want it to. And they're going to be like, yeah, well, we're bringing that other feature later. This is just going to be the step one phase. You know, I guarantee they'll say something stupid like that. I'd almost respect them more if they just came out and said, look, we can't do it. We lied. We're sorry. But the false hope is really getting annoying. The only thing I can think of right now that's actually a positive thing when it comes to this new multiplayer game mode that I'm talking about, that I'm hoping Apex is going in that direction, is the fact that they just hired the multiplayer guy over from Halo named Tyler. So I'm really hoping that his job at Respawn is not necessarily for Battle Royale, but I'm hoping that they're utilizing him to do these multiplayer game modes maybe for Apex. Now, with the new season literally in like 3 days from now, people are wondering what are the balance changes that are going to be happening. Like I said, we'll know more about this on Monday when the patch notes do release, but one of the things that people are wondering is, will Newcastle receive a buff or nerf, considering he is now the lowest pick rate legend? I think that's one of the biggest problems of the season, to be quite frank with you. I mean, we got a brand new season, the brand new legend, and the brand new legend is already the lowest picked character in the game. That's not good. You're not building a lot of hype when you have issues like that. I think Horizon in season 7 was one of the greatest examples of why and how you need to build a character, make people want to play her so badly. I don't absolutely hate the idea of making them overpowered to begin with so that people want to use them, want to use this new character, get into the game, and then maybe draw a little nerf later. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do to Newcastle in this next update. Is it going to be a nerf? Is it going to be a buff in season 14? Let me know what you think it should be down in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel as always if you're new to the channel, and if you've already done that, thank you very much indeed for doing so. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. It's Vibe or Die, only positivity, and until the next time, later Gators.